Emily's going to plunge, and then we're going to have a cold conversation about Nordic Wave.
I've loved breath since I was 14. So when I was 14, I was on the USA Under-18 Olympic women's soccer, and I would always get sick. So I would have like really bad cramping on the field. I would have, the runs like during a game and have to like run off. And so it was during the Olympics that we were playing against Brazil and Afghanistan and all these amazing teams, and I couldn't play because I would get horrible cramping. And I was center mid, and so my coach was like, you need to figure this out, and talking to my parents. And so I went to different doctors, and I got colonoscopies and stuff like that, and they told me I had irritable bowel syndrome. And so I changed my diet a little bit, and then I went to a different doctor, and she's like, you're just stressed out. You need to start doing yoga. So I started doing yoga, and I felt significantly better. And initially, I thought it was because of the stretches in a weird way, and then I learned this one position would really help me, and it was because I would lay down in like a child's pose position, and I would take really deep breaths. I would take like 5 minutes of bright breathing before I'd start the game. So I'd lay down and be like, and then I realized, like later on I went to physical therapy school, that it was actually that calming breath that saved me from the cramping and the spasms. And so that was the initial brought to breath, and then as I continued the journey, like I went to physical therapy school, and I was super lucky. It was like a very holistic program that we learned about how significant the breath was in decreasing people's anxieties and improving their, symptoms too in different conditions. And I found that a lot of chronic and inflammatory conditions were a lot of times because of the breath. So then I got into yoga training, and I even did lymphatic drainage and learned how to do breath training with, individuals with cancer. And I worked on a cancer ward, and we did breath training for kids and adults because that was the only way to get their lymphatic drainage, their pump around. We'd do some massage, but the biggest thing was breathing. And then I wanted to learn more about how to teach it. And then that's when I was exploring different programs and went to my good friend Julia, who I didn't know at the time, her class, and she was a Nordic Wave, Nordic Flow teacher. And I was like, okay. I'm like really excited to teach it to like individuals. I see so many clients. So I work with like professional kiteboarders, because I kiteboard too, like all over the world. And so in athletes, I see a huge lack of awareness in proper breathing techniques, and like you need to breathe correctly for good core, for good like rotational components. And so I'll see so many people who like, even runners, if they're not rotating well, the rib cage is really tight, so they can't take a deep breath, and then as a result they have to use extra muscles, like use their hip flexors actually more to get that more explosive power because they're not using it through their core. So I'll train a lot of kiteboarders, rib cage, thoracic mobility. I'll teach a lot of my personal clients, and then just in group settings, I love not so much like the physical improvements, but also like the mental and the clarity, and just it's a beautiful thing how you can use breath to improve both your physical and mental performance and just your lifestyle. I don't know, so many. Beautiful. I was gonna say joyful. Ooh, resilience. Yeah, for me it's resilience because I can get inside my body more and outside my head. And afterwards I feel so clear.